welcome to Lost in the Real. Today I'm going to be reviewing the horror film The Vigil, which was just released recently and is streaming now wherever you rent your movies. And thank you so much to GeekyHiJynx for reviewing this film, because if he hadn't, I never would have seen it, and I'm so happy I did. And if you haven't checked out his channel, please do. It is in the description below. He is so incredible. He puts so much work into his reviews, and he's absolutely worth a subscription. The Vigil is written and directed by Keith Thomas in his directorial debut, and stars Dave Davis, Menashe Lustig, and Malky Goldman. It's about a man who is providing overnight watch to a deceased member of his former Orthodox Jewish community and finds himself opposite a malevolent entity. So I wasn't exactly sure what type of horror movie we were going to be getting here in the first 5 minutes or so, because we have this large group of friends who had seemingly left their Hasidic communities and were trying to assimilate into modern society. And I didn't know if all of them were going to be a part of being haunted by this malevolent entity, but soon you realize that this movie is taking a much more intimate approach by following just one young man as he performs his duties as Shomer, which is basically to watch over this dead body and make sure it's not disrupted while his soul leaves the earth. And boy, does he get disrupted. None of this would have worked if we didn't have an outstanding performer in the lead role, because basically this is a one-man show. And let's be honest here, very rarely do we get masterclass performances in low-budget horror films like this. But in The Vigil, we do. Dave Davis knocks it out of the park here with a disturbing, emotionally draining, and extremely physical performance that never feels over the top. What this character goes through mentally and physically in one day is absolutely harrowing, and Davis pulls it off every step of the way. Another standout aspect of this film is the cinematography, which makes great use of this claustrophobic single setting of this small house, as well as always showing us just enough to scare the shit out of us, but never showing too much as to always keep building the tension. Let's talk about the imagery here, because I cannot get some of this shit out of my head. We are talking fingernails against tiles, shadows in the darkness, long fingernails, and cracking bones. Literally, some of this shit is so messed up. But what is so impressive about this film is how they are able to build tension with this imagery. And as the vigil progresses, Jakob is continually going through more and more agonizing circumstances that you can't help but put yourself in his shoes, and that is what good horror films do. I do have to admit that the build-up to the climax is far more terrifying than the climax itself, and some of the practical effects due to budgetary constraints didn't work for me as much as they could have in that finale. But those are small nitpicks, because the climax is still pretty nerve-inducing. As that beautifully ambiguous ending gave way to the credits, I just thought, whoa, I need to simmer on this one. And after some simmering, this is why I believe that The Vigil is a cut above the rest of most horror films. Because not only is it horrifying and disturbing, because it is, but this film has a huge emotional core about the grief that we hold on to, that we let devour us and destroy us, and the grief that we pass on to others because we cannot bear the weight of it alone. This is powerful content that absolutely shook me and will 100% stay with me. So I will be giving The Vigil 4 chipped fingernails out of 5. This is an extremely disturbing movie with a powerhouse performance by Dave Davis, and it pretty much shook me to my very core. I do not understand why this film is not in the same conversation with movies such as Hereditary and Saint Maud. It's that good. So please, if you are a fan of horror, stop what you're doing and check this one out. You will not be disappointed. Thank you so much, guys, for watching Lost in the Real. We will see you soon.